Welcome to episode 207 of Left Behind Game Club. This week, we play Quantum Break. Let's get right into it.
You're listening to the Left Behind Game Club.
Welcome to the Left Behind Game Club, our never-ending attempt to make sure that no game is left behind. I'm your host, Jacob McCord, and today I have two friends with me. The first friend, you know him, you love him. His name is Travis Colnut.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi. My second friend, hello world, Alex Martin.
Hello world.
Today we're talking about Quantum Break, a video game developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by Microsoft Studios. It was published on Windows and Xbox One, originally released on April 5th of 2016. We start the show with the fast pitch, which is a one-sentence description of the game that we played. But before we do that, just a quick few pieces of housekeeping. First off, if you love the show, do us a couple favors. Give us a follow on Blue Sky, because that's where we announce when the next shows are coming. leftbehindgameclub.bsky.social. You can also find us on Discord at leftbehindgame.club/discord. And if you like the show, give us a review on your podcasting platform of choice. 5 stars. If it's 4, throw it in the garbage because we don't want it.
Send it back in time.
And send it back in time. Send it back in time to a friend, because that's how people hear about podcasts.
That's right.
There it is. Let's do it. Let's talk about Quantum Break. Who wants to give their first fast pitch?
Oh, God. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
It's Control, but for bros.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Alex?
Quantum Break looks like a game, but it also looks like a time machine. But
Is it a time knife?
yeah, exactly. Yes. But no, it looks like a game, but it's looks like kind of like a time machine. But Bruce doesn't know that yet.
Oh my God.
Oh, I have to go now?
Yep.
What if binary domain but bad?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
binary domain.
Yeah, did you guys play that
I've
one?
never played binary
Me neither.
domain.
Okay, do you want me to try another one? What
Please.
if Dead to Rights Retribution but bad?
I think you've gone in the opposite direction of my points of knowledge.
Okay, cool. Let me keep going. What if Vanquish but bad?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope,
cool.
nope.
Somebody's going to be screaming at the computer or wherever
Oh,
they're listening to
no.
this. So Vanquish a little less so, but the other two games were like very 2000s coded third-person action games.
Gotcha.
That were like 7s.
Okay.
And so I said, what if 7 but bad?
Oh, no.
Cool. Let's talk about Quantum Break, but before we do that, let's talk about how we played it. And I think it's quite important to do that.
Oy.
Because if you want to play Quantum Break in 2026 or whenever you're listening to this after 2026, I think we have to go and give people a flow chart as to the best way to play it. Is that fair? Because I think we all experienced different consoles, different configurations, and they're all sort of bad, but in different ways.
Y'all go first, because mine seems like the most complicated
Yeah.
possible thing.
So-
mine's probably the simplest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I just played it on Steam on my desktop,
Uh-huh.
and it played okay. Even on a modern computer build,
Okay.
it still had some performance issues that I found annoying, and it did crash once as well. And
And
yeah.
for reference, what sort of PC are you're running? Like a mid to high end PC
Nah,
or high end?
it was
a couple
mid
years
to
ago?
high end a couple years ago. I think. It's like a RTX 3070.
You have a 3070. That's
Yeah.
worth $1,000 now.
I suppose so. I guess by modern day computer builds, yes.
And I think the one thing that we have to also say is that this game has both gameplay and television segments.
Yes.
We should talk about that next, but note that there are times when it goes to stream a 20-minute episode of television, and depending on the platform you're playing it on, the experience may vary. So on PC, on Steam, my understanding is that is the best way to play it from the streaming television standpoint.
Did you have any hiccups? It just worked.
It just worked. Yeah, it
Okay.
just no issues at all
Okay.
in terms of that.
Did you have hiccups?
Yeah, so I played it on Xbox.
There was
so
hiccups on Xbox?
with
Because the thing is
respect
like
to-
trapped on Xbox.
It is. So the way that it works is on Xbox, I found the performance to be. I didn't have any crashing issues, but there definitely was. I'm like, this is on an Xbox Series X. It is originally an Xbox One game, and it just got a little hitchy and framey at moments, but the most important piece is the streaming television episodes, where when you start them up, what ends up happening is you have to do an 80 gig download separately, because there used to be streaming in the Xbox version, but they've somehow shut down the tool that was being used to stream it directly while you're playing it. And so what you have to do is, not when the game starts, when you hit the first episode of television, they go, hey, how about an 80 gig download?
To download the episodes.
Yep, you have to download 80 gigs of television before you watch it.
So you make a choice and they're like, hold on.
Yes.
It's going to be about, it's going to be 20 minutes, half an hour. We'll download
It's going to be an hour to download this 80 gig file.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you can go watch it on YouTube if you want, because the folks on, big fans of this game have uploaded it on YouTube.
Okay.
However, there are collectibles that you can find in the world that add small scenes in.
Yes.
So I don't know if this has every single collectible.
You would have to find out which episodes were the ones that were uploaded that reflect your specific playthrough.
Yes, exactly.
And
I don't know how y'all felt about this. I'm assuming we all played on controller. The media player controls were terrible. You could hit the B button once and just exit out of the show completely, and it doesn't hold your spot where you are.
So
that's me. How did you play?
Oh God. Okay. So it's not Steam Deck compatible. It is Steam. It's got the little orange symbol saying like you can kind of play this. You might have some issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing it on that because I don't have an Xbox at all to play it. I don't have a gaming PC. And I'm like, how am I going to get this to
I
work?
almost bought an Xbox One, or I was offering you my Xbox, where I'm like, just take my Xbox for a little while.
You would not have bought me an Xbox One just for me to play
I
this
looked
game.
on Facebook Marketplace to see if I could get a $50 Xbox One for these purposes.
Wow. So I initially started playing it on my Steam Deck. I had to pretty much move all of everything visual all the way down to the lowest possible setting to make it run somewhat okay. It was really framey. There was a lot of I think it's called screen tearing is my guess, but there was a lot of it made me nauseous. It was making me sick because things were just so sluggish, and I struggled in the walking spaces. It was fine when action was happening, but when it came to slower movements, the characters walking and interacting with each other, it just was so weird, and I was struggling with it. I was getting through, and it was fine. So Alex is my neighbor. So just putting that out there in the world. Alex is my neighbor, and essentially what I did was signed on to his PC and then streamed it to my Steam Deck from his PC, and then plugged my Steam Deck into a TV and played it on my TV through my Steam Deck, streaming from Alex's PC.
Yep.
But you can't watch the TV shows on Steam Deck.
Actually,
sorry, because you're streaming.
I was streaming from Alex's PC, it actually was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually didn't have trouble. The Steam Deck, the first time I hit one of the things, I wasn't streaming it from his PC. And it played the episode no problem.
Oh.
But it wouldn't play it if I had it connected to my TV. It played it
on the Steam
No, sorry,
Deck.
the other way around. It wouldn't play it on the Steam Deck, but if I was connected to my TV, it would play the episode. It was so messed up. And there was I pretty much had a little flowchart process of, okay, turn on my Steam Deck. Okay. Connect to Alex's PC. Okay. Plug in to the TV. Oh, but before that, I have to connect my controller, because if I did things out of order, the controller wouldn't work, or the screen wouldn't connect to the TV, or if I did something let's say, start it midway through an episode, I couldn't pause the game, unplug it, put it back in. I had to pretty much restart the entire process all over again. But I will say, streaming it from the PC was like night and day. The game ran so much smoother. Playing it on Steam Deck, in handheld mode, was kind of impossible. I was doing really bad. But I think it's because all of the resolution, you lose a lot of everything becomes more opaque. So all the abilities, you can't see through like a time bubble. So like you have no idea really what's happening on screen. And the screen is smaller. It's difficult to see. I could get by on the TV when I docked it, but when I streamed it, it was like insanely different. I was like, unfortunately, I couldn't use Alex's PC if he was currently playing. So I kind of ended up timing, like, this is just a better experience all around if I streamed it from the PC. So I ended up doing that more often than not, and doing it where, okay, he's not using it, I'll use it. And I'll do, or like, okay, it's time to watch an episode. Alex is that's fine. I'll watch an episode, no big deal.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's because then you're sitting down for 22 minutes or whatever. Right. But oh yeah. So I had a process just to get this game to play well enough that it didn't make me sick and didn't like, I could actually play it in a way that like was good because I felt like I couldn't see anything on screen. I was so much better at the game when I actually could move and see what was happening on screen. So really, really crazy, like the hoops I had to jump through to get there, but it worked.
Playing it 10 years after it came out.
Yeah. Right. Very not optimized at all for anything.
Nope.
And the nice part too is if you decide to play it on PC Game Pass, it also doesn't. It acts more like the Xbox version than the Steam version.
Really?
So
interesting.
it's a crapshoot with playing Quantum Break in 2026. So
interesting.
A buyer beware, I guess.
It's just it's weird how trapped it is in like on an Xbox system, like because there's weird background stuff with this game because like Remedy made it for.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Remedy made it for Xbox, but then when Remedy kind of went like doing their own thing. And I know that they got like the rights to Control back from what was it, 303? I can't remember who it was.
505.
505 numbers. 303. That's a band.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Probably right in time with the time that this game came out.
And when you look like this and you're doing like that, that one.
Yeah. But so like I know that they had bought back the rights to Control and a bunch of other things, and now Remedy's very much doing a kind of a Control universe thing, especially with how they're tying in Alan Wake and Quantum and Control and making those things all work together. It feels like Quantum Break is this oddball out that they can't really do anything for because I think Xbox owns the rights to it. And like we'll get there because it feels like this game was setting up a sequel, but I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Yeah. And then originally, if you remember, there was a time where Microsoft had a TV studio and were making large investments in television for their video games. And so I think what they were trying to do is turn this into a sort of TV project that would be released in parallel with Quantum Break.
Interesting.
But then they shut down I don't know how tied in they were with the TV studio, but essentially what it felt like to me was they smashed this TV show into the game. And maybe they hadn't intended for it to be that way at the start.
It's funny, though, because Remedy is very much like they do a lot of this live action stuff in a lot of their... And I think they have... Is it Annapurna? I think they have a deal right now to get TV shows made based on like Control and Alan Wake properties.
With their like film and television departments for Annapurna.
Yes.
Annapurna Pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like the TV aspect is very in line with modern Remedy as it is, right? Like the doing things with live action. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this game that we'll talk about it more, but like there's a lot of Alan Wake 2 in here, like before it ever came out, or it was just like our concept and like it's
And so I guess I need to know before we dive in is your exposure to the Remedy universe.
Yes.
I think we're sitting in a bit of a parallel or a spectrum of who has done the most.
Yes,
sort of
you
Remedy
don't like
play.
Control.
I think Control is overrated.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow.
I have not. So I've played a lot of Remedy's games. I think I've played everything but Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
So I played the original Alan Wake. I liked it. I think Control is fine. We'll talk about Quantum Break. I'm really excited for Control Resonant because as of recording, we've now seen an extended look at what the game will look like.
It looks
super stoked for that.
Very excited.
It looks like a sequel to Prototype, so I'm super into that.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're speaking to you.
Yeah, they're speaking to me. And so
Prototype, everyone's favorite game.
Oh, it's the best.
It was fun.
Did you watch that trailer? You need to watch that Control.
I don't think I've seen the extended one. I've only seen like kind of the.
There's like the gameplay one that came out with the state of play.
Just a little while ago,
like last week.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that yet.
It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out then.
Yeah.
So, what's your exposure to the Remedy universe?
I played Alan Wake 1 about 15 years ago when it came out.
Oh my god!
And then I played Control a couple years ago, and liked that one a lot. And that's where I'm at. And then it's Quantum Break as of recently.
I had a PS4 and Control was right up my alley. I'm a big fan of like the TV show Fringe.
Yep.
Like it's got that kind of like bureau that's investigating weird happenings, and I was like, oh, the vibes are right. And then I fell in love with Control. But Control on the PS4 played like this game played. It was rough. It was real rough. Despite all of that, though, I loved it.
I think of this and Cyberpunk as games, obviously not to the same degree, but games that were too ambitious for the hardware that they had when they came out.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, but I still don't understand, like, Quantum Break was too ambitious for the hardware that came out, and now we're, like, way later, and it still doesn't work.
It's still unoptimized.
I know!
I had dips below 60 frames a second still.
Oh my God.
I had, like, 25 frames a second on, like, the bridge scene in, like, Act 4.
Oh, my God.
It was brutal. Like, the whole thing was, like, it was janky.
Oh, my God. So Control, I love Control. One of my favorite games of all time. Exactly my type of stuff. And then it made me a big Remedy fan. And so I was like, I need to play Alan Wake 2. And Alan Wake 2 was... I got a PS5 much later than it came out.
That was the number one thing you wanted to play.
That was the thing. Alan Wake 2 was more or less the reason I got a PS5. So I played it pretty well immediately after I got it. I love Alan Wake 2 so much. There's a lot of this game, and we'll talk about it, but like there's a lot of Alan Wake 2 in some of the things here too. You can see where they're pulling from. But I big fan of Alan Wake 2. I never played the original Alan Wake, which now I'm like, I need to go back and play the original. Future episode, maybe? Who knows? So, and now like Control Resonant, I'm very excited for. And I was like, I need to go back and play Quantum Break because there is a lot of Quantum Break in Alan Wake 2. But neither of you have played Alan Wake 2.
No, not yet.
Nope. So, yeah, there's a lot of Quantum Break in there. Because they bring back Sean Ashmore, there's a lot of stuff and they play with it. And it's very much an off-brand because they don't have the rights to Quantum Break. Yep. So like Sean Ashmore's in this game and his name is Tim Breaker, like Time Breaker.
Good. Excellent. I love that.
And there's a man called Mr. Door who was supposed to be played by Lance Reddick. Unfortunately, he passed away. But his name is Mr. Door, which is a play on like Martin Hatch. Like there's levels.
I see.
And they're kind of not opposite characters, but they're both NPC characters that you interact with throughout the story of Alan Wake 2. And you're kind of almost like an alternate Jack Joyce who's like the police chief, and he gets like zipped up and away and kind of teleported away and like is trying to figure out what's going on with time and Mr. Door and all these things. And there's a lot of it in Alan Wake 2. And I'm like, I need to know where this all came from. So that's why I was like, I really want to play Quantum Break. Not knowing that it's very much like pre-Control. Like, playing this, I was like, oh, I want to see how this ties into Alan Wake 2, but in reality it's like
in-game timeline,
like in terms of like gameplay, like this feels like Control. Like this
sure,
that's what you know what I mean,
for sure,
like
yeah.
This feels like alpha Control almost, you know what I mean, like it feels like the prototype to
like bad Control.
Control for bros.
Control for bros. So we've set the table a whole bunch talking about everything around it.
Yes.
Why don't we introduce, we fast pitched it, but introduce what Quantum Break is? Why don't we start by setting the table about the story and the world and the characters, and then we can talk to folks about what kind of game it is.
Okay.
Jack Joyce.
Very generic.
He's a time man.
Yes, time man.
He became time man.
It's very, honestly, story setup is like Jack Joyce, his best friend is Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And
so distracting. so distracting.
You a big Game of Thrones guy?
Well, yeah, I think everyone was at some point. It feels like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I found that incredibly distracting.
And what about
when they did
Charlie
that.
from Lost?
Oh, Charlie from Lost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the worst part is, I watched Lost like last year again, and it just screwed me up because Charlie was not Charlie. Charlie was a different character in the show. And then in Lost, his brother's name is Liam, and there's another Liam in this. Oh, that's a main character in
you
the.
can tell
the
these characters'
it just
names
threw me
are
off.
all
I'm like,
of a year. They're all the same. Most popular boy names. And like,
it honestly, it was bending my brain trying to watch this. I'm like, this is not the right character name for this person. They chose the wrong one.
You know the thing that threw me the most about Aidan Gillen is his American accent.
yeah.
I was just like,
At first, I was thought, is it just
what
his
is your
likeness?
face doing?
Is it just his likeness and
Yeah.
not his voice?
Yeah.
But then he's like actually in the TV show, and I'm like, oh no, you're like legit here.
Yeah.
Like,
What is your face doing, and why is it? It was like when I heard Paul Mescal for the first time do an American accent in the film that he did, the weird
Faux.
Faux. Yes, when I heard
of course, I knew what
yeah,
it was.
Paul. But yeah, that threw me hard.
Yeah.
So Paul Serene is the CEO of Monarch Solutions.
Yes.
And they come together at the university.
Yes, because he
And-
discovered time travel essentially,
Exactly.
and then things go bad.
He sends him an email and says, "Hey, I need you to come from Thailand all the way back here because I
Whatever.
need to show you something, and
Yeah.
only you, and you need to come now, and I'm paying for your ticket."
Because obviously, just like everything in this game, everything urgent must come through email,
Yeah.
right? Every bit of every single element plot can be explained in an email.
In an email.
For some reason.
Way too long of emails.
Yes.
Guys, there are
Chain-
whole sections of this where you just walk and read emails.
Chain
Whoa,
upon
whoa, whoa.
chain of emails.
I think we're jumping here.
Oh,
But
sorry,
yes.
so sorry. How
Yes.
dare I? Let's actually get to the plot points here.
Okay.
So Paul Serene says, "Come check out my time machine." They activate the time machine together, and then oh no, things go so wrong.
Yeah.
But Paul Serene knew that this was going to happen, right?
Right.
He needed this to happen.
Yes.
But
And because it turns out that Jack's brother, not Charlie, Will,
William Joyce,
William Joyce was the one
played by Dominic Monaghan.
Yes, and they discovered time travel, but he was kind of erratic, and so Paul Serene kind of took over the project. And gosh, what happens? It's like does Will show up? Will's there early in the game. Why is Will there? How does Will get there? I honestly don't
time
know.
loops.
Time loop.
I honestly don't remember how Will gets there. Does he just show up? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Legit.
Now
no.
you're making me question things.
Well, no, because Paul goes into the machine, then comes out of the machine. But then why is Will suddenly there? Will just shows up?
No, Will, he goes back to 1999 when the first time the core was
Right.
activated.
Okay. See, yeah. It's just
And Will's when he activated it in 1999.
right. Okay.
Yes.
It's
I know
confusing.
things.
Yeah, it's very.
I remember things.
This game is very confusing.
So essentially, it just sets up this idea that Paul goes through the time machine, ends up being in a place called the end of time because something happens here that they call the fracture, and the time stops. Essentially, all of time stops at some point in the future, and Paul is obsessed with coming back to the past to find a way to not stop it, but essentially like create a thing so that they can survive during this frozen time
and find a way to
Get
end
through-
the end of time.
Yeah, exactly. To restart time again.
Exactly. And then essentially shenanigans ensue where like Jack gets kind of caught up in this ploy because
He gets exposed to chronon particles.
right,
Yes.
and then gets abilities
Mhm.
to do
Yeah.
things, and then Paul goes and kills Will, and that kind of sets Jack on his yes, but that's the motivation for
Yes.
Jack to
Mhm.
kind of progress in the story, because
Yeah.
otherwise like he's like, okay, time travel, like not that Jack's dumb, but like very much like Jack doesn't really know fully what's going on. a lot
He
of
is such an empty vessel as a character.
yeah, a little bit.
There's nothing there.
I love it. He is just a very generic character.
The most generic.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do we know about him?
No.
Nothing.
Not really. If you
Zero.
read some of the emails, like, okay, he kind of had like a. Honestly, it's unfortunate. I read some
He
of the
ran
emails.
away
He
from
ran
home.
away. He got into like some crime and stuff like that. And I'm like, that just kind of like is being used to explain why he knows how to use a gun.
Yep.
Like literally, like it felt very like, oh yeah, of course he was a bad kid because you need to have action in this game a little bit.
I'd say the writing for a lot of the characters in this game in general are pretty. Each character is very flat. They're very. They stick in their lane.
Yes.
I'm the action guy. I'm the scientist. I'm the doctor. I'm the.
If this was a Kojima game, he would be Gun Dudeman.
Yes. Oh my god. Honestly, their names aren't too far off from like Kojima game kind of characters. Like Jack Joyce is a pretty generic name, but like I don't know. There's that whole email about like Martin Hatch, and like it literally ends with like a hatch. I'm like, oh my god, we're naming our characters after like things here.
Martin Hatch being played by Lance Reddick, and he's essentially like Paul Serene's right-hand man.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we don't know anything about him. He just sort of appeared as a mystery.
And then there's also my favorite character in the game, Beth Wilder. Who,
of course.
Beth is amazing.
Of course.
Beth, even me aside, Beth is probably the best character in this game.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I feel like that's like, of course I'm going to think this, but I can't feel like you can argue that anyone else is as good as
And
Beth.
top 2 performance, I think, too.
Oh, yeah. She's great. She's so good. Courtney Hope. No wonder. Control. This is Control for bros. Just put Courtney Hope in the spot. Oh, wait. Then that's just Control. Like, that's all I want.
Beth, well, she's the only person who actually like had any real, I'd say, major character development.
Yes.
Everyone else was very one-sided except for her.
Yeah, they all were kind of like in their own thing. And she doesn't know everything, but she's trying to figure it out. She has like the most, I feel like, personality like out of everyone that's there. Like she's like, I know who Beth Wilder is. Whereas like, I don't know if I could like accurately describe like what kind of a person Jack Joyce is or like Will is. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little disappointing.
Yeah.
So structurally, the game is a third-person action game where you develop powers, you use powers, you shoot gun, and your job is to just figure out hey, how do I stop Paul Serene from ending time or ending the world?
Yeah, it's almost like if Jack actually...
I'm oversimplifying this.
But it's almost like if Jack actually listened to like what Paul was saying, like he actually... like Jack is like very much like, you killed my brother, so I need to stop you. Whatever your goals may be, I'm stopping you. It doesn't matter what it actually might be.
The one-sided, this is my objective, I'm going to run blindly towards it type of deal.
That's
the classic. They use that trope quite a few times in the game. Like Liam is... My wife is pregnant, I got to save her. That's his deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
and so you bring up Liam.
Yep.
There are these television episodes that are, you play an act, you see a television episode, and it happens, I think there's like 5 acts and then 4 television shows. And at that point, you have characters that barely appear in the game or appear very late in the game, but then are the entire core of the television series. I don't know how y'all felt. Television show bad. Television show bad. And you guys watch some schlock, right?
Of course.
This is like, what if Lost had no budget?
What did you think?
I agree. The acting was just terrible.
I think it was writing. It was writing.
The writing, like, yeah, it's true. I think, yeah, it's hard to work with what they got. You know, it's also everything. I was laughing when you earlier said this. I didn't know this was made by Microsoft, except for all the blatant advertising across every single platform. On
Windows
this
Phone 7.
Yeah, who didn't use Windows phones? Everyone used those.
Do you like Nissan car?
Oh, a Surface Pro. Oh, look at this. It happens to be 30 seconds staring at a screen while it loads a thing. It's a Surface Pro in the middle. Thanks, Microsoft.
Oh my god.
Travis, how'd you feel about television?
I'm of two minds.
Okay.
So initially, after watching the first episode, I was like, oh, like I like this. I was like, this actually like felt like it added to the experience. Like, okay, we're fleshing out the world, but in the back of my mind, I was like, this does feel like, do I have to care about these characters or not? And I was very much worried about like, okay, if it doesn't pay off with these characters in the game later, I'm going to feel like this was like a waste of time spinoff. And I still landed somewhere in the middle. I was surprised at how little like Courtney Hope and Shawn Ashmore actually appeared in the show.
Yep.
But
their agents negotiated them a good deal.
But at the very
to do less TV.
At the same time, you're playing as Jack, and Beth is around most of the time, so you're not really like all of their actions are accounted for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like the side story stuff that is happening that informs the rest of the story, but only sometimes. Like sometimes it feels important and then sometimes it doesn't. And I wonder, like, okay, if the show wasn't involved, would I notice? Like, would it just be like, okay, here is this now new encounter that is happening and this just is what it is, as opposed, and maybe it would have been an email or maybe it would have been a lore piece that I read, but instead we watched it as a 22-minute episode of a show. And did it help with the world building? I think it did.
I think I may have liked it better than reading through an entire novel worth of emails.
That's the thing. I think if it was just like the script of the show in email format, like it was Charlie and Naomi chatting via email about stuff, and then because like for Control, I read everything in that game. I felt like the writing was so good. I wanted to know all the little details. I wanted to like see all the little things that were happening because it was all weird and fun and office shenanigans-y things. I felt like the stuff in the lore reading email stuff, it wasn't succinct enough. Like it was too long. It was like too like
they wrote real emails with 6 replies.
That's the thing. 6 reply is too much.
Yeah.
I'm not going all the way to the bottom.
And it even did the email like thing where it's like the stuff that starts the conversations at the bottom.
You always have to
so you're
scroll
reading
the
it to the bottom, then you like read down like a very long email to the bottom. You go up like 2/3 of the way. Then you have to read an email down, and the flow was awful to read through. Like I know how emails work in real life. Can you just like not make it look like Outlook?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, how about just you
I'll suspend my
right?
disbelief a little bit. Like, for an email to just be in reverse order or something. Like, it was.
They failed cybersecurity in this whole thing, by the way. Like, why is every computer unlocked and just like available, like on the most critical, sensitive emails? Literally. Why is that always the thing?
And like, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of there was a couple really good like emails and lore bits and stuff like that in there, but I wasn't compelled to read the majority of it, which I was disappointed by because I think like Control and like Alan Wake, I liked reading everything. I wanted all the details. And I just don't feel like there was a compelling enough.
There are email rooms in this game where you just walk down a hallway and there's just 6 terminals where they want you to stand there, read email, walk 6 feet, read those emails, walk 6 feet, read those. That's bad game design. That's not good game design.
Are we getting into gameplay a little bit here?
Yes.
Are we going to do it? The opening scene to the game, that entire first, Act 1, Part 1, where you're at the university following around Paul, and like he's talking to you, but you also have like the narrative pieces that are just like around. You're like, do I collect the narratives and break the entire flow of his talk?
Really? He's legit talking?
So, one of the things I hate the absolute most of video games is A, one of those walk and talk things.
Yep.
And B, when you also slap in narratives, but they keep talking over it. So I'm like, I can't listen.
And he's having an inner monologue too with himself at the same time.
It's wild. And
Right, because he's commenting on the lore bits at the same time while Paul is talking in the background.
Yeah, because you've triggered 2 different events in the game that it doesn't recognize, or it's just like, it doesn't pause the fact that Paul's still talking. It's still happening in the background while you're trying to read a narrative.
I feel like games have gotten better at doing
the
this.
flow is not good.
Yeah.
And I found there's a couple of pause spots in the game that were either stop and read a novel, or you're having this thing where it's like there's a time pressure where something's obviously like pressing, and they're like, hold on, I got to read 15 different pages on different emails in different rooms while you're wandering around. It's like the flow didn't make any sense.
There's a firefight happening, but wait, I got to read this email.
Yeah.
Everybody hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
We got to stop the end of time. Paul's going to get away on a chopper. Wait, got to read this email.
Look at this email chain. It's got 8 emails in it, guys. Frickin' emails.
Somebody marked it as important.
Yeah.
It's got an exclamation point on it.
But they've clearly refined it with Control. Like, it works really well in Control. And so that's why I feel like this feels like the prototype, like a lot of what they see. Like, because we'll talk about like gameplay, but like the gameplay is very Control-esque.
Rip into it.
Yeah, like, okay, you're shooting a gun, most, like, in terms of
gun
just,
dude
like,
man, yes.
Gun dude man. It's not as cool as, like, lady pistol shooting thing. You know what I mean?
Good try.
Yeah. But then you also have the powers because he's got chronon particles in him. So you start unlocking different abilities that are very similar into kind of how Control, like there's like a shield kind of bubble thing that kind of can stop bullets from coming at you. You can freeze enemies. You can, and then when you freeze enemies, you can kind of shoot them, and it kind of like what is it?
It piles up. Basically.
Piles up the bullets essentially,
Yeah.
and so you get like a bigger hit. You can dash or like run really fast. What are some of the other? Is there a couple other things?
There's like the
there's kind of like a
explosion
sense-
one. There's a one you can like
the time bomb.
The time bomb.
And
Yeah.
there's kind of like the Batman Arkham
Vision.
Asylum
Time
vision kind of thing where you can kind of see what's going on in the vicinity around you. Honestly, the powers were a lot of fun.
Best part of the game.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I feel like the combat and like the actual combat sections were actually like a lot of fun.
Yep, I agree. The only thing I would say about the combat is they give you all the moves, but I'd say by like chapter 4
Right.
or act 4 of the game, it became very much a lot of the same.
Yes.
Like you could stop learning new moves, and it became very flat for the last. It's just
Right.
like go through big horde of enemies.
And I think that's
anytime.
where the game kind of falters, and I think it should have. The enemy variety is pretty basic. Like it's just wave of the same kinds of dudes that you're just kind of fighting. Even final boss, like there's no bosses in this game. It's kind of like here's a slightly more powerful.
I would argue
dude.
there's maybe a single boss in the game.
Right, but that's about
Yeah.
it. Like
One single distinct boss.
Yes.
right, I guess like even
Who got
just,
built up big time in the TV show.
but
Yes.
like I would feel like I would want a little bit more variety in terms of like the types of enemies we were fighting, because it's just kind of like, okay, you're shooting and like you're using your, like you said, around Act 4 you're kind of doing a lot of the same stuff, but it was fun. Like, don't get me wrong, like I really liked like you're in this parking lot and you're a parking garage and I'm like time bombing these guys and I'm shooting these guys, and it was fun to mix and match the different powers and the cooldowns and doing all of that kind of stuff. Even if at times it kind of ran a little long. Like some of the fights might have ran a little long.
I think it's really telling that we have not talked about the gunplay yet. To just show how secondary the
I
gunplay
don't know
is
if
to
I
it.
really knew what gun I was using at all time. I don't know if I could tell you.
It made no difference, seemingly.
Yep.
Yeah, I just shot things.
Yep.
Things you aim bullets at thing and they die.
Because there wasn't really recoil.
I do love that I didn't have to worry about like ammo. Like that is the one major thing that I really liked. Is like, sure, I've got my generic gun and you can pick up the random guns from the enemies. I loved that I didn't have to like resource manage how much ammo I had. It was like, oh, I could just like go to this backpack and reload.
Backpacks were everywhere. With unlimited ammo.
Or just pick up a different gun.
Every big fight had a backpack in it, basically.
It's almost like they play tested it and realized, oh my god, we don't have enough bullets, and just said, solution, backpack with ammo in every encounter you have.
But it was fun that way. I felt like I had like the free reign to do whatever I wanted, and the ammo kind of just acted like a cooldown, like the random abilities, right?
And I'm sure
Pick
y'all
the weapons you like, and
and I'm sure you locked into the like a type of combo that you liked, where like I really liked using rush and then just rushing at someone and then shooting them and then rushing away, because you can upgrade stuff.
Oh,
as
I
you
did
play.
that differently.
And so you kind of, as you upgraded your upgrade tree, you could upgrade some of the powers and make them better, so you could get like 2-time rushes.
Yeah.
Or have a longer one.
I did a lot of like freezing and shooting and a lot of time bombing. I really loved the time bomb. I would like if I was, especially if they hadn't seen me yet, I'm like, wait until they get kind of close together, time bomb them, then rush in, like freeze, shoot. I think like the game was fun for like how it used time travel based abilities in like interesting and fun ways.
Yep.
I tended to rush people and then get them locked up and use a shotgun.
Nice.
Shotgun was the only gun I found as a distinct advantage over the other weapons.
Yeah, the rest
because
are
it
the same.
could go through like armor on the bigger enemies easier,
Right.
especially if you've got them frozen, hit them twice, and most enemies died basically.
Or some that you'd have to hit in the back, and then you would rush to the back and then shotgun them in the back.
The juggernauts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like one of the things about the combat that I really liked is because the game is playing with this idea of like, okay, the end of time is coming. So sometimes time is freezing randomly. And because you have time powers, you're not affected by it. So there would be enemies that can move, that have equipment that allows them to move when time is frozen. But if you shot them or you broke their time equipment, they would then become frozen in time, and they're kind of like frozen ragdoll kind of character, and I really liked that was really cool. Like, that's a really smart, like, interesting way to, like, oh, they're no longer a threat because you broke their equipment, so they can't move through in this time frozen period. It was cool. I really, really like that.
I think there was a time where I started to get bored of because there is a variety, and they pepper in new enemy types, and you get new powers. I think you have most of your powers by Act 2, and then obviously you're upgrading them, but there was almost like 20% too much game here based on the mechanics that they were adding, that just by the end I was just like, can I just
more level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. With the same, kind of like what you were saying, was like the same kind of fights.
Yeah, after Act, I thought by Act 4 or so, it was really, they stopped adding things, so it's just like, all right, it's just another wave of enemies. I know how to fight each of the 4 types of enemies that are in the game total. And that was it.
I was kind of like, because near the end, like, slight spoilers, but they were talking about like shifters and like kind of like a monster-esque character that was like kind of in the environment that was moving and only attacking things that moved. I thought we were going to get some sort of...
They foreshadowed it like crazy and never delivered.
I was really thinking like, oh, here we go, something different, and then it didn't happen, and I was surprised.
You ever notice how some games don't need 100 hours to leave a mark?
Absolutely. I'm Michael.
And I'm Marcus. We're the host of Tiny Game Chronicles, a podcast that celebrates games that are small in scope, but huge in heart.
Every other week, we dive into games that you can finish in a few hours, but think about for days after.
We've been exploring these hidden gems, and every time it feels like uncovering something extraordinary.
So whether you're short on time or just love discovering new worlds, join us.
Listen to Tiny Game Chronicles on your favorite podcast app, or catch us on YouTube.
Tiny Game Chronicles, where every other week we discuss games that are quick plays,
but epic journeys.
Do you feel like you're the only person in your circle who wants to go deep about video games regularly?
We were like that too, until now.
Welcome to Crossplay Conversations, the brand new bi-weekly topical video game podcast from Luke Lewis,
Joseph Hooper,
and Jacob McCoy.
With many years of breaking it down separately on shows like the Left Behind Game Club, Player Podcast, and Lukewarm Games, the gang is finally coming together to publish their gaming group chat in audio form every other week.
Expect roundtable reviews of the latest games, profiles of upcoming indies, and insightful conversations about essential topics in the video game industry. All with a mostly positive, insightful, and fun style.
Help us out by subscribing on your podcast platform of choice to get the first episodes delivered straight to your feed.
And follow us on Twitter at Crossplay Convos for updates about the show.
Cheers and happy gaming.
Should we just let the spoiler wall up at this point?
I think so.
Okay, so if you're interested in Quantum Break and you want to check it out and not get spoiled, you may want to stop here and then come back to the podcast, because we are going to spoil everything from this point on. This is the spoiler wall. You have been warned. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
So, this game, like, after, I guess, like, the big things are, like, the junction points in terms of, like, spoiler-wise, right? Because, so essentially, after each act, you get a section of, after your gameplay stuff that you're playing
with
as
Jack Joyce,
you get a thing called a junction point, where you play as Paul Serene, and you have to make a decision that kind of changes the outcome of your game. And I'm very curious to know what we all did, because like, how varied is our game, or did it end up really being the same game and the changes weren't really that different? And I actually have no idea, because I haven't looked it up, so I don't know.
They're minimal.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Yeah, there is some variety in the television show.
Okay,
but it is not a
gameplay wise.
Oh, gameplay wise, there again, I think there are mentions of what happened, and there are small scenes that are different.
Okay.
But it is not like night and day.
Because, like, okay, if we talk about the first one, like you play as Paul and you're and you have to decide whether or not after this whole ordeal that happened at the university with Jack and all these things, whether or not you have to take a PR approach or a hardline approach with how you want the media and like the population to see how Monarch, Paul's company, handled the situation. What did you guys do?
I played the game the entire way as I was trying to think of the state of mind of Paul Serene,
Yes, same.
not as my own personal.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So
Same.
at that time, I went hardline.
Interesting.
Oh, there
Hardline.
we go. See,
Yeah.
at least we're in agreement that Paul
I
Serene's
did-
mindset was that.
I did PR only because I was like, I don't want this poor university girl to die. So
What was it? Amy something.
Amy Ferrero Rocher or something like that.
Ferrero Rocher, yes.
I didn't want her to die, so I picked hardline, even though I was like, okay, yeah, am I like breaking immersion a little bit? But okay, so with mine, they kind of like make Jack Joyce out to be the bad guy, and they do like this whole PR campaign where like the media is like he's like a terrorist. Did that happen in your games?
No.
That did not happen. No.
Interesting.
Absolutely not.
Okay, no, like most of the game, like a lot of the radios, like it's like the manhunt is on for Jack Joyce, the terrorist at the university, and blah blah blah, and like pretty much like you're kind of like on the run, on like being hunted, like for the majority of my game.
From what I remember, is that it sounds the same, where you are being chased by Monarch the entire time,
Right, but I think
and hunted down.
But like I think the general population is against you as well.
Where
Oh,
here,
interesting.
I think you're actively seeing people get killed by Monarch as Jack as you're going.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
No, like Monarch is like trying to like save face here. Like Monarch is still like well liked.
Yeah, they ain't trying to save face.
No,
No, they're trying to eliminate all witnesses. It's
Really?
like the whole idea
Oh,
on the
no,
hardline.
no.
They try to kill everyone they see, basically.
So what happened to Amy in your game?
she gets shot.
Killed.
Yeah.
Oh!
yeah, I know. They shoot her right
Amy
away.
was like an NPC throughout my whole game.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
she was gone immediately. They kill her instantly.
Right there.
Yeah.
No, she was like an NPC in my whole game.
Yeah, but like, what did she?
So she
Oh, and we had the cab driver the entire game,
who's
Nick.
Nick. So maybe
Who?
that's. See, there you go.
Oh.
So there was a cab driver.
where'd he come from?
They probably just fill in the same role
They
a different
fill
way.
the
Yeah,
same-
yeah.
yeah,
But
exactly.
interesting. That's cool.
Who is he?
I think he was the cab driver that drove you to the university,
He's the cab driver that drives you to the pool.
to the pool.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
wait.
And he's your sidekick
To the
whole time.
pool? Like for the first time you go to the pool?
Second time you go to the pool, I think technically.
Okay. Wait. Now, okay, yeah, but Beth drove me to the pool.
Oh,
I'm confused. Oh, this is so there is differences.
yeah. Well, yeah. There's differences, and just,
Ultimately, did it matter?
at the end of the day, I think the core game ends up the same. But obviously, how you get there obviously changes a little bit.
So like Amy was kind of a like university student, like protesting like Monarch solutions and stuff like that. So because in my game, pretty much the population at large is it's thinking Jack Joyce is this terrorist, and Amy is hacking into like computers and is kind of like your person giving you the information.
You're describing his role in like the cab driver in Nick's role.
He does that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He helps you out in a lot of places.
He walks in, he'll check a map and like, oh, I can pop this door for you and do
Okay.
these like things like that.
Amy does
Like,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she's like, and she's there. She goes to the pool with you and Beth the first time you go there. So
Yeah, when Jack came to Riverport, he caught a ride in Nick's cab.
I have no idea who Nick is.
Nick is the cab driver.
I have no
He's the
idea who
cab
Nick
driver.
is.
He's our version of Amy.
He's
Interesting.
Amy.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
our other generic
Gotcha.
NPC
Well,
they
see,
fill in.
it makes sense. I'm going around this game with like as many like here's Beth and here's Amy. I'm like, yeah, ladies, let's go. And then
When I looked in our notes, I'm like, why are you talking about Amy? Amy just got murked after the first junction
No.
point.
She was a nothing almost.
no, she was
like-
there the entire time.
Oh.
Like later in the game, she's like she's there my entire game. She's at the
Interesting.
pool. Like once we get to the pool, she's there the whole time.
You're describing Nick.
Okay, interesting.
So
So that's the difference there.
that's the difference.
And yeah, like essentially, like then like radios are just talking about the manhunt for Jack Joyce a lot of the time. So that's kind of probably the changes.
Is it from like the police's perspective?
No, like
or-
from like the news.
oh
The news is talking about like
Huh.
Jack Joyce is like man at large, the police are after him because he's responsible for the bombing of this university and all this kind of stuff. Like they frame Jack as like the enemy.
Interesting. There's definitely that's not the flow of the game when you pick the hard
Oh,
line.
that's
It's
very
all, it's
different.
all like, oh, Monarch's the bad guy.
No. Like Monarch is like you're like the underdog, and like Jack is like trying to like get Monarch. Like Amy and Jack and Beth are trying to like undermine Monarch from the inside, and trying to make sure that like, okay, let's release these files and do these things to try to like.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's not it at all.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
So like when Monarch has like the gala later, is that just like a thing? Even though they're like super evil in your game, they're just like people are just like, yeah, sure, have a gala.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that doesn't make sense then, because in my game it's like, oh, Monarch's like a normal company and they're having a gala.
Yeah. But some of the employees don't realize that they're an evil company. It's just that the outside world is reporting on them being an evil company.
Interesting.
So and from my understanding, you see reports. I don't know if it's in game or in the television show where you see the media talk about Monarch as, you know, very different than what you had
Interesting.
seen.
No, Monarch is like the public doesn't mind Monarch, and like they're working with police to try to track down Jack
Nope.
Joyce.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's like. I mean, I'm still fighting Monarch goons and stuff like that, but it's just like.
And we're still having a party regardless.
Yeah.
So
Gotta have the gala.
Yeah. The gala just happens.
Whether
even though-
you just like destroyed an entire university the day before or not, it doesn't matter.
You're still having a gala.
The gala's got to go.
Yeah, no, it's very different. Different in terms of like a lot of like the setting and like the story that's being told.
television show really focuses on like a few characters that are tertiary to the video game. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Liam Burke is not in the video game.
It felt like they were setting him up to be kind of like the counter to Jack, and until the end, it's not the case. Like they're both very like separated from each other.
And Charlie just is cannon fodder.
Charlie's a rat man, and I hated him.
Yeah, and he just dies. He
which was
accomplishes
shocking.
nothing and dies.
Did he die in yours?
No.
What? Okay.
Okay.
No.
I think we have to talk through this in
Too many
greater
things.
detail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the junction with the PR and the hardline
Yep.
stuff.
Mhm.
I'm assuming the game probably continues as is, and then I think the next thing is Jack gets caught, and at the gala, it's either Paul goes to talk to Jack,
Personal or business?
Personal, yeah. Paul decides to go interact with, talk to Jack himself, or he sends Martin Hatch to do the work. What did you guys pick?
Personal.
Business.
Personal. So how's this different? Because it made more sense for me that Paul's like, I need to talk to him. He's my friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen. What happened with like him and Martin? Like, did Martin Hatch and
So I picked business. I was thinking that again, I was trying to be Paul Serene in the situation, right? So I went hardline. I'm for the business. Like I need to like keep everything down. I'm suppressing being a person and going all in on make sure the business is good. That I'm keeping like getting through to do my lifeboat protocol.
Right.
I want to get there. So like. He wanted to handle everything and on the business end, so he hands off Hatch to.
What happens there?
So Hatch takes Jack into like an interrogation room and gives him a key and releases him.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Beth gets us out.
Oh, Hatch just gives him a key in mine.
Because Hatch wants that to happen.
Yeah, Hatch is
okay. That kind of informs the ending a little bit better for me, because my ending felt confusing.
Okay.
Because I was like, why would he want to help him? Like in my game, like Hatch and Jack never interact ever.
No, they don't.
Not once.
Nope. Because in that scene, he has a moment where he's drinking scotch with, I don't know, who is he drinking scotch with? Like another underling? Hatch. In ours.
Or Charlie.
It was Charlie.
Yeah,
yes,
Charlie,
that's where he deputizes Charlie.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I will say, I talked about top two performances. Beth Wilder, Courtney Hope did great. I think Lance Reddick was actually did a lot with he plays similar roles.
Yeah.
he did a lot with not a lot.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in ours, I think Paul goes there, talks to him, and like...
Where I took it from hubris, where I'm like, Paul is just full of hubris, and he's the only man in his mind that can do it because of his personal connection to Jack.
I was thinking Paul is like, I want him to be more interesting than just like one-note villain hell-bent on his like singular goal.
And he's sick.
I kind of wanted him to be like, oh, but he still like wants to like, he thinks what he's doing is right, so he wants Jack to understand, so that's why I picked it. But yeah, no, he like, they have a disagreement and he leaves Jack locked up in the room, and then Beth like pretends to come in like a bad cop and turns off the camera and is like, oh yeah, I'll get you out of here. And then
So they just swapped it's the exact same role.
Same thing. So,
Hatch
like,
does that for Jack and the one I picked.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think Hatch and Jack interact at all in my game until the very end of the game. Like in that post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that yours have, because that kind of that makes it feel a little bit, makes more sense.
So we've picked both junctions so far. We've picked different.
Me and you have picked different ones.
And you and I and Jacob and I are split.
Yep. So the third one is around Amaral or Hatch.
I picked Amaral.
I also did Amaral.
I feel like that makes the most sense.
I also picked Amaral.
Okay, interesting. Because yeah, the decision is between Paul having to decide whether to trust Dr. Amaral, who is kind of his lover / doctor / like lead scientist on Chronon stuff, and she's helping cure him of his weird
treat him
Mm-hmm.
and looking for a cure.
Yes, essentially. And Martin Hatch is clearly up to something and feels like he's trying to sabotage Paul a bit.
Yeah, and that's why I picked Amaral as well in mine, because like Hatch had clearly just failed to get Jack. So I'm like, why would it? I'm Paul right now. I'm not going to trust a guy who's acting really weird. Just released,
and I don't know his background at all.
I'm like, something's weird here. He just released
There was
them.
enough like uncertainty with Hatch even in our gameplay. I would say that like it made it feel like, oh no, he's like up to something. That it was like, oh no, don't trust that guy. So that one, okay, that's interesting. I wonder how the game would change if you didn't trust her. But either way, because Hatch tries to get her killed by sending a drone crashing into her like
her office,
and then Jack and Beth save her and get her to like get the time travel machine that they found at a pool working again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh gosh, what's the last one?
Control or
let
Surrender.
go or whatever.
Surrender,
Yeah.
I think.
Surrender. Yeah, I did control.
Did you do control because of control? Or
Honestly, I kind of liked the use of the word, but I felt like Paul was so singular in his thought process about needing to do this that it didn't feel like at the very end he was just going to give up. So I was like, control.
Surrender.
Oh, what happens there? Is he crazy?
Yeah, so like I was approaching it from like a, he was just betrayed by Hatch, and he like now knows it because he had him arrested, and he's like in this bad
that
state.
Still happens in ours too.
Okay,
that's he got arrested and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of has to end in the same place.
It's all going to move in the same direction somehow. But yeah, so I was thinking, oh, he's in an unstable place because he's not taking his treatments because he's been missing them because they obviously Hatch had blown up his supply.
Right.
And then there's that damage when he's like, no, I'm not going to try because I don't know if it's going to work because he's in a bad state. He's paranoid. He's not in the right state. So I said surrender as in he's going to just not use the medicine and just whatever happens.
Interesting. So then how did that lead to like Charlie not dying in yours? Because Charlie and Hatch got shot Hatch got like stabbed in the face by Liam in mine.
In the eye.
In the eye.
Yeah.
In mine.
Nope.
Liam ends
What?
up
Not even close.
ends up essentially being the arbiter of everyone's death. And then
No, Liam had like basically did almost nothing, it feels like.
Really?
In my version.
Yeah, okay, because
so did Liam die in yours?
okay, so
Liam died,
this happened. Okay, we have to explain what happened here.
So going into Quantum Break, I knew absolutely nothing about this game, just so you know. Like, absolutely not a single thing about this game. But because Travis was streaming it from my computer, I literally, we had an issue where it crashed on my computer.
It crashed in a hallway, and there was issues, and I couldn't, I texted him, I was like, I don't know, maybe I can't get back in. Like, can you check your PC?
So I went upstairs, I turned it on, and he's like, oh, I have to finish something on my things. He'd started playing again on the Steam Deck. And I went upstairs. I was doing whatever, and then I came back downstairs after I think I put one of the kids to bed, and just the TV was still on, and he was just playing. Because when he streams it, it's
still on his
my
TV, so he's watching the stream of my game.
And he had no idea I was watching because it's just like I was just creepily watching his play for like a couple minutes, and he walks into a scene. I think it was the end of Act.
It was the fight with
Act
Liam.
5?
It was my fight with Liam.
Yeah, he's fighting Liam, and then I was like, "You just killed Liam." I never fought Liam, and that's when I found out that. That's when I realized that. There's an entire different way depending on what you pick.
He didn't fight Liam at all.
No. Liam was killed by Hatch in mine.
So, what?
Yeah, and Emily Burke killed Hatch.
What?
Pardon?
Emily kills Hatch?
Emily kills Hatch after he kills Liam.
Is that in the TV show? Or in
it's
the game?
in a TV show.
That does not happen in our game at all. Emily in the show kills Hatch?
Yeah, so
Whoa!
There's like a scene where Hatch is trying to get the Chronon field regulator or countermeasure or whatever you want to call it. Inside the thing.
Yeah. CFR or whatever it is.
Yeah, and Charlie unlocks the thing, and Hatch goes in, then he activates like a what's it called, like an advanced defense protocol thing, and like it blasts with Chronon protocols, and he like disappears. Hatch does, but then Charlie goes to check on
so
Liam.
Your show is different. Than
Yeah. So
I guess I take it back entirely that these shows are just like
so like
different.
Hatch had when they walked into that room, Hatch had shot Liam and killed him.
Oh my god!
And then Emily's had been with him coming in here because he was trying to get Emily down into the lifeboat protocol. So Liam had brought her into their lifeboat protocol. So they were trying to get this. It was like the whole sequence is just completely different. I'm like
That's
a little
nuts.
confused
so
actually
then
how different it is.
What happens in the game? What happened? Like when you get there as Jack?
It's Charlie's inside that room that
you have to
fight
Charlie?
No, Charlie was there and he's being held captive by like 4 one of those the shifter guys, not shifters, but the Chronon suited guys.
Them?
Yeah, it's just like a normal fight, and then you just move on and walk past them. He was like, "Hey, Charlie, how's it going?" "Pretty good, pretty much," and then you just walk past them.
Interesting. So in ours, I'm assuming we must have the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, Liam is trying to get Emily into the lifeboat protocol.
Yep.
Fights his way through, and then gets to the CFR because is it Hatch that tells him to go there? No, someone tells him to go there. Paul? Someone tells him to go there, and I can't remember who it is. Either way, he gets there, and Charlie shows up and tries to and is trying to turn it off because Charlie has a change of heart and believes Naomi and wants to Charlie kind of has like a heroic turn at the very end and tries to be the good guy because Charlie gets Naomi into the lifeboat protocol and he then goes himself up to the CFR to turn off the defenses so that Jack can get there to get it because Naomi needs Jack to do it because Naomi knows Beth and is trying to. She tells Naomi tells Charlie.
Who's Naomi?
She is the other one in the TV
Charlie.
show.
The one that Charlie's always hitting on.
Oh, not Naomi.
Naomi.
No,
Fiona.
Fiona Miller. I'm like, who's Naomi?
Not Naomi. Who the hell is Naomi? Fiona. That's a similar name.
Yeah.
You're Metal Gearing right now.
Oh my god. So Fiona.
I thought that was like the actress's name.
No.
You're just like throwing it in there like real life.
Fiona. Oh my gosh. They're all so generic names. Fiona gets Charlie to go up there to turn it off so that Jack.
So that's the same.
Okay.
Same.
So Charlie has a turn of
it.
heart, like a change of heart, and wants to like help Jack.
Yes.
He gets there. Martin kills him. And Charlie, when you get there as Jack, is a body bag on the floor, in a zipped up body bag on the floor. And you walk in, and Liam is there because I think Martin must have been the one to I think that's what it was. It's like, you need to defend this thing. Or no, or maybe it was Paul. I can't remember. Either way.
You need to defend it so that your wife can survive.
Yes, that's what it is.
So your pregnant wife
Paul
can survive.
says, Emily can go to the lifeboat, you defend this thing. And so he does it. So you have to fight Liam to get to the CFR in our game.
Who's heavily bleeding, who's
Yeah.
barely alive.
Yes, barely
and
alive.
You still... The boss fight is super easy.
It was interesting because there was no powers. You only there was like
Gun
you had
only.
no powers in this fight.
We say boss fight, you're talking with Liam?
With Liam.
There was no powers allowed.
Okay,
There was like a
There
thing.
was no boss fight for me. So
Yeah, you pretty much had to fight Liam just like in a gunfight without any abilities, and run around and try to
The best part of Quantum Break when you use guns, only guns.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, so very different. And then right before that, Martin gets stabbed by Liam
In the eye
a bunch of times and dies.
Yeah, so mine was like a CFR blast. So Hatch had killed Liam, then tries to grab the CFR. Charlie activates the defense thing, blasts him with chrono particles. Charlie goes to check on Liam, who Emily had dragged away.
Interesting.
And then Hatch like uses his new Chronon powers to like morph and choke him.
Whoa.
And then Emily shoots at him. Hatch turns around and she like keeps trying to shoot him. Then like when she gets like right next to him, she shoots him in the face.
Interesting. See, like there was a note inside of Paul Serene's office that very heavily implied that Martin Hatch was the shifter.
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of assumed he already had Chronon abilities already.
But we don't see it.
We don't see it.
No.
He takes the little eye
'cause
drops that he
'cause-
does.
yeah.
Yeah, no. In mine,
And-
he did like a Chronon shift thing where
You
like,
actually got to see
he
it.
disappears.
Interesting.
And then like teleports basically and grabs Charlie.
Interesting. Yeah, none of that happens. Wow, very different.
Yes.
I'm surprised the show is that different. The game, slightly different scenes of the game. I'd have to go back and look at them, but like that, I'm surprised the show is like fully filmed different scenes.
Can I ask you, Smarties, the Henry Kim thing? What was the Henry Kim stuff all about?
He was like a doctor.
He was a doctor.
He was the
in a
pre-Dr. Amaral.
Yeah.
And then was inside, got really zapped with Chronon particles
Yep.
and became a shifter.
But it seemed like he almost barely had a corporeal form also.
And so I kind of thought we were going to fight him.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping we were going to fight him.
Well, because the shifters only exist when you're in a what's it called?
Like a time-
zero point state.
Yes.
Where you're basically your time's frozen.
And
that's the only time they're allowed to move and function.
yes, and they move around and they attack other things that are in those spaces.
Yeah, they can only attack things that are also able to move and or have chronon particles available to them.
I was
when
kind
they're
of
in that
hoping
time.
we were going to get that, like a fight against Martin Hatch or a fight against Dr. Kim or
but
something
only
like that.
in that space where like
yes.
everyone else in the world's like, what happened? You know, you had a huge epic battle and they're like
Exactly.
in frozen time.
You get like hints of it, but it doesn't actually happen to you, which is kind of disappointing.
Beth Wilder. Schrodinger's Beth Wilder.
Does it exist?
Schrodinger's Beth Wilder.
I don't know if that's necessarily what applies with her situation.
Is she or is she not?
Does she exist now or
Or
in
not?
the past? I don't know. That's not quite the same one.
There's how many time periods are important in this game? 3?
Yeah, I think
three time periods, right? We got 2016, 2010, and 1999 are the core time periods.
yes. And then the end of time, which we kind of see that because Beth gets stuck there.
Which the end of time would be like 2016, right?
Right?
'Cause they're moving towards the end of time in a very, very fast sequence.
Yeah,
So-
there's like a flow chart, like a bunch of whiteboards in Paul Serene's office, and I think it ends with like 2022 or something like that. I don't remember.
No, shouldn't. I mean, isn't the fracture? Doesn't they said like they had like 8 hours left until time froze?
Oh, right.
That was
Okay,
the whole
yeah.
point.
Then why were they talking about 2022 on those?
Maybe because they were
Whiteboards.
going to use the CFR to extend time
Right,
past.
past that point, and then yes,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Maybe that makes sense.
They end up at the pool, which is the backup time machine.
Yes.
They use it. Beth gets thrown back in time 17 years,
Yes, 99.
and she has to then go through life observing her younger self again, right?
Yep.
That was insane.
Beth's stuff.
That
the
was
stuff that happened
crazy.
was crazy.
And she's just like disheveled by the time like
Yeah.
they see her again in like 2010, right? Is
Yeah.
when they finally meet again in real life with their current knowledge and as themselves.
Mhm.
like seeing, like Beth was already kind of interesting, and like there's for her, like the reveal that she went back in time and told her younger self and gave her younger self like a journal with like a bunch of information, key moments that you need to remember. Reading that journal, Beth, did you guys read? Beth's journal was probably the best piece of lore inside of this whole game. Second.
Second best.
What's better?
Go ahead.
The Bruce Livingstone.
Oh
screenplay.
Yes.
Did you read that?
No, but you guys told me about it.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
That was what my opening sentence was about. It's a game, but it's not a game. It's a time. It looks like a time machine,
but it's also a time machine.
But it looks like a time machine. But Bruce doesn't know that yet.
It's so bad. It's so funny. We need to give context. Give context to what this is.
So there's in one of the very lengthy emails,
multiple chains of emails, 3 times.
There's a couple references to it. Bruce Livingstone is an employee at Monarch Solutions, and he emails Dr. Amaral his screenplay because he's like in love with Dr. Amaral. So he wrote a screenplay where like they're like love interests. And all the names are like the same characters in the game, but just slightly modified. Like it's not Paul Serene, it's Paul Marine, and it's just like
it's so dumb.
And it's not like it's like Sophie, like something like it's like Sofia Amber, like I said, like they changed everything just a little bit. It's just so dumb.
Written so bad. I have a quote here where Sofia, the scientist lady, is what he calls her in this thing. Bruce is the main character of this story that he's telling.
Of course.
And she looks at his large biceps like they are large, delicious pieces of ham, but she doesn't want to eat them. Like, what is this? Like, what is this? It's so bad, but it's so funny. Like, clearly someone was having fun.
Somebody had a blast with that one. And honestly, it was my favorite piece of lore.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, it was such an unnecessary amount of detail. It was probably, if you were to put that out, it's probably like 5 or 6 pages of like written text.
Honestly, it was very Control-esque. Control had a lot of lore stuff like this.
Some of the plot in the knife was better than the actual game's plot. But like it was like you went back in time and then I replaced all the bullets and now you've all been shot already.
Yeah.
And like,
like it was just constantly like, oh, and I already went back in time, and actually she's not dead because she already went back in time. Like it just kept going,
which is very much like an analogy to the actual game. Where it's like loops of loops of loops. It was just like I don't know. It was fun. It was good.
But that one aside,
yes,
Beth Wilder's journal,
Beth's diary journal was the best. Like reading that was like heartbreaking, and also like you're just like, oh my gosh, what happened to her? Like she was such an interesting character already because like she knows some stuff. She doesn't. You don't quite know why she knows some stuff. But she's also, her going back in time hasn't happened to the Beth that you know yet. So she's still in the dark as to how all of this happens. And then the Beth that you find at the end is broken and like has seen all of these things and has lost faith that anything can be changed because she has seen the end. She knows that like almost everything that she... from the age of 9, however old she was, like
was predestined for her.
Exactly. She had no control over her entire life. And then to find out that like, sorry, this thing that I told younger self that you needed to do actually didn't matter. Like her whole sense of self and purpose is just like gone by the end of it.
Schrodinger's Beth Wilder.
That's it.
Explain not quantum break, quantum physics to us in a very simple way.
Well, the classic example that was always used, and they actually make references to it several times in the game, is like Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
Which is like there was like a premise that like there's like a cat in a box with like a radioactive material plus like a vial of poison, and there's like obviously as a human you can't observe radiation and all that stuff. So inside this box, the cat can be both alive or dead depending on until it's observed, and to the observer you can only see that, but there's actually like a whole thing with the way that atoms kind of work when they're radioactive, where it can actually break the vial and it would kill the cat, or it wouldn't kill the cat, and that's the trigger for it. But as the human, you can observe the end result, which is it's alive or dead. And the cat is both alive and dead until you actually look inside the box. So and that's how the whole junction concept works, right? In the game, you look at a junction and he can see both
things,
both outcomes, and
both are true.
Both are true until
one.
you choose one, and that becomes the actual path chosen, and that gets locks in the timeline, so to speak.
Right.
And that's kind of how the game works.
Interesting. Yeah, Schrodinger's cat. You don't know this?
I feel like Schrodinger's cat is just a thing that everybody always talks about, or in fiction, in television, they refer to it. But
both things are never both things are true until it's actually until it happens. Yeah. So honestly, if we're talking about time travel stuff, because I do love time travel, in media and everything like that. I really like that this game is pretty good about its rules of time travel. Yep. It is very much because you can either go either way. Either your time travel is you can go to the past and you can change the past. It is malleable. The time it's always changing. You go to the past, you can edit the future and all these things. I kind of prefer what this game does when I like my time travel. It's kind of what has happened has already happened, and it doesn't matter what you do. This was what happened, and you're affecting the future, but also I kind of view more of time is all one point, all at the exact same time. All time, it's Schrodinger's time. It's all time has happened at the exact same point.
It's Schrodinger time.
But it has all happened, and there's nothing you can really do to change the outcome. And that's kind of what happens to Beth here. She sees that everything that we did was for nothing, and is there really nothing that can nothing we can do changes anything.
Even Paul Serene's whole concept of he wants to go fix the whole thing as well.
Right.
He's made out to be a bad guy, but in reality, his original objective was to stop the fracture as well.
In the first time. Exactly.
And then he wants to go back in time so he can build up a company and enough resources to at least be able to extend
some
time.
People. Exactly.
On his
smartest, most brilliant people that maybe they can figure it out.
Paul's not really a bad guy here, other than the fact that he quote unquote killed Jack's brother, and that's really the reason why he's the bad guy.
But I think the coolest part is, back to your time rules comment, you end up replaying the university and then realizing that, Jack, when they were saying it's there's multiple Jack Joyces, it's because there are two Jack Joyces.
Exactly. Because you're doing the area again.
Yeah.
Same thing.
You are fighting as Jack in two different places at the same time.
And same thing happens earlier in the game. You're seeing graffiti throughout the space that turned out to be Beth, signposting you along the way. But it was Beth that went back into the past, and it was older Beth, and she's living her life, and she's signposting and setting things up because she knows that you need to be able to climb here, or you need to see these things and get you she's setting you up on a path because she knows that this needs to happen, and she understands that it doesn't matter what I do, this is gonna be what happened, so I can't change these things. Honestly, Beth's death was brutal. I did Beth dying and then Jack watching it as an echo of something that had already happened in the past was also heartbreaking. That was really well done. There are moments in this game that are really good.
Yeah.
There's really good moments. Him watching her die as an echo of something that happened already. He can't change it. He's telling her to get up, but she can't. This already happened, and he's now witnessing it, right? There are a lot of really good moments in this game. There's a couple really good set pieces too. There's a set piece where you go to Will's original, where he built the time machine, and time is messing up as you're going, and day and night is cycling nonstop, and so the light is constantly shining through this warehouse space, and you're seeing an echo of Will traverse through a space and stuff. I thought that was really, really well done. That was a really cool space that you got to walk through and kind of experience, and it was okay, they're using the concept of time travel and how if time was messed up and replaying over and over again, what kind of interesting and cool things you could do or see, right? Right near the end of the game, there's a hallway that you walk down after a shifter kind of went through and killed a bunch of the guys, and as you walk down that space, it's eerie, and all you're hearing is a very slow-mo like scream. It's just like a very slow-mo like because it's just these guys dying in slow-mo, and it's just like it's eerie and it's really well done, and I really loved it if my game didn't crash while walking down that hallway. But I thought that space was really well done. And that's the thing that I see with like Remedy games. Like they do really, really cool little set pieces and things like that. Like and you can see how that translates into like other games, like the junctions, and like how Paul was kind of seeing future like potential things. They pulled that, and that's pretty much in Alan Wake 2, it's Saga's Mind Palace. Like you can see the artistic direction. You're doing that kind of stuff. You're seeing the like, well, if this and this, and you're deducting things, and as she's like trying to figure out the like what happened in this scenario, because you're playing as Saga Anderson, and she's trying to investigate what happened here. And she has similar things to looking like Paul's Junctions, where you're kind of getting flashes of like scenes, and all I thought was like, oh, this is Alan Wake 2. So like there's so many little things that they pull. The combat goes to Control, and a lot of the like art direction and stuff seems like they pulled into like Alan Wake 2. It's very interesting. Like this game it informs a lot of two of my favorite games, which is Control and Alan Wake 2.
But did you like it though?
That's the thing. Do I like it because...
What was your hour count like on this?
It's probably like 14.
Yeah, mine was like 13 change.
I think mine was closer to 17, 18, but I
ended up read everything.
But I went back, I read everything, and I actually went back and did like the 100%.
Oh, snap.
But like 100% with a single playthrough. Like, because I think to get 100%, you'd have to do multiple playthroughs,
do all
different
the junctions
and stuff
ways.
like that.
Yeah.
But I got like 100% like items of inside the game.
Yeah, I think I got 31 out of 42 Xbox achievements in 13 and a half hours.
Yeah, like I liked the combat. There was a lot of like good moments. Like I think I come out of the end of this game like with a positive feeling, despite the hardships I had with like on the technical side, and like Jack being like a generic kind of character, and the story being like pretty basic generally. I really liked it. Like I do feel like I really liked my time with it. Like I don't regret playing it by any means. And I feel like it informs a lot of like what I liked about Control, what I liked about Alan Wake 2. Like there's so many little Alan Wake 2 things. There's a whole like Night Springs commercial. And Night Springs is a thing in Alan Wake, and then there's a whole right in the very beginning. Like there's the like almost the live action trailer for Alan Wake's book Return, which is the book he's writing in Alan Wake 2. Like there's
references.
There's
all
so
over the place.
many references. There's straight up a book from an Alex Casey like crime novel, which is a whole thing in Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's so many little things here.
There was one of the pieces of narrative evidence was like a book, one of Alan Wake's books.
Yeah,
and it's signed, but it's Emily Burke's copy, signed by Alan Wake.
Yes, like that's
little things, like
there's
little subtle like nods to all the different connected worlds.
I want
stuff.
this to be part of like
the Remedyverse.
The Remedyverse, because I want them to use this in some way. I want them to surprise me with how Courtney Hope and Sean Ashmore's characters are similar, the same people in Control or Alan Wake 2. I want them to have some crazy, like, how does this make sense kind of solution to it, and I want to be surprised by that. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because of my past experience with their games that I love so much that it makes me like this, but I did really enjoy playing it despite all the hiccups that I had along the way.
I think the one upside to the way Microsoft operates now is that I think there's a better chance now of them being willing to play ball with
something like this, with
Remedy, and allowing them to use those characters, where 10 years ago that wouldn't have been the case. But now Microsoft, especially if this game is being published across... The Control Resonant is not a Microsoft property.
Right.
But is there a chance they'll play ball to be like, hey, you can have it on Xbox, you can use your characters, it's fine?
Right.
Maybe.
If we're nearing the... Well, okay. Yeah, you guys talk about, did you like it?
I think I'd love to hear, Alex, from you, maybe some quick hits of things you liked, didn't like, that we haven't talked about yet, because I know we've talked about a lot of the good, and I think there's maybe I have a couple of things that I didn't love that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet.
One of the things I actually liked was the subtle nods, like things like they talked about the butterfly effect in one of the narrative pieces as well, and that the whole company is called Monarch Solutions.
Right.
And it's Paul Serene going back in time, trying to use the butterfly effect to go back and solve the fracture.
See?
It's a subtle, like little subtle things like that. Like it's a nice little like nod. I'm like, there's some creativity in the writing in some spots, but then like I said, I felt lazy in others. Trying to think of any other major stuff that like stands out to me that I wanted to talk about.
I think the music that they chose, the licensed music they chose, also
Africa,
great choices. Yep. Oh, the Africa car scene. Cool.
That car scene where she like my music and she turned like that was the minute I fell in love with Beth. Was she turns on Toto, and then to find out that like that was her sign, like when she signed graffiti art and stuff like that, it was like, oh my god, that's why. And then it's just like it really was like thought about. Yeah, it was really good. That was like my favorite, like her, and then it even just like loading into the next scene, like the like load screen kind of loading up into the next scene.
Is that the weird text that was dancing around?
Yeah. But it's just there's like, but Alan Wake 2 does very similar things where you're moving between acts and like it's like little music set pieces and stuff like that. So
did we talk at all about actually fighting Paul at the end?
No, we did not.
Oh no,
like we just kind of like, because
it was probably my least favorite part of this game.
Yep.
That was it. I'm like, it was. I was saying, like, we haven't mentioned it at all. It's the only. My experience, I didn't have Liam in mind. He was the only, literally, like, quote unquote, boss type fight.
That was different.
In there.
Liam was still a regular fight. He was just a regular dude that you're fighting. It wasn't even that different.
And really, even Paul's kind of the same thing, except that you have a random explosion every once in a while that like will just will like blow across like 3/4 the entire screen. And it was a really weird fight, and
I disliked it.
Yeah, it was.
There were some weird difficulty spikes in this game where some of the, like one or two of the other encounters, there's one encounter before the final battle where you get a super gun because you are just surrounded in the dark by so many different enemies, and without it,
I had fun. Oh, I didn't get a super gun, but I had fun with that in the dark fight.
It just got difficult for no reason. It's not called a super gun.
I don't even remember this fight in the dark, which I probably should.
It was like a power outage, which caused you were in the past, and it caused the power outage. It was the reason why the power died at the university. It was in the like while you're kind of retreading your steps, and like they can't see you. But I you know what? I probably didn't do. I just like time bombed a bunch of guys, and then like just went out guns blazing and just like started fighting. So I don't know if I had a super gun in any way.
I don't think it was called super gun, but it was clearly better than the rest.
Okay, interesting.
Super gun, interesting.
Super gun. Yeah.
I don't think the enemy AI was good at all. I think that they kind of followed similar patterns, and a lot of the time they were just cannon.
They saw me very easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and they had like basic tactics, but I think that I left a little bit to be desired as far as the battles went. Just by way of, a lot of the time they would just follow similar. Like I never feel threatened.
No, I think the combat was fun. Threatened. Like that's the thing. I think I enjoyed. I also like like we talked about briefly, like the lack of resource management. Like you just healed. Like you just like as long as you didn't get shot enough times, you just kind of healed.
I think that's actually one of the things I liked about the fighting in the game is because like you felt in a weird way, except for the healing, obviously human. Like, a couple of hits, you die.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a huge amount of health.
Nope.
And same thing, the enemies you fight don't really have that much health. If you're hitting them in the body armor sections of their body, like they get a couple extra hits, but no one's unreasonably like defended.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you freeze time on someone and hit them with a couple of shots, usually they go down pretty much right after. It felt fair.
That's the thing. I liked the combat a lot in this game, especially when I was playing streaming off of your PC. Otherwise, I was having a lot of difficulty. The final boss I struggled with because I felt like I couldn't get a sense of like where these, and like you would just auto die if like you even stepped foot near one of these time bombs going off. Like it was late. I was like, I'm kind of over this fight. Like I wanted maybe something more from it. Like it just was like, oh, here's a bunch of waves of enemies, and then also randomly shoot Paul like 1 or 2 times.
Yep, that was it.
And so a little anticlimactic for me. Just smidge. I would have liked to maybe see Paul go like full shifter. Like I think the game just teased shifters as a threat and didn't deliver on it. And I think that's the one big slight for me. Everything else I felt like I could forgive for the game, but I wanted...
What about the platforming sections that were terrible?
They were fine.
They were not good. They were not fine.
They had a couple sections where I thought they were at the very beginning. I'm like, oh, they're gonna get creative with this,
right?
And then they just
like the boat
they were not
falling.
They just weren't creative.
Yeah, the boat falling was like creative, and then like the bridge area felt like it could have been creative, but then it was just a lot of the same. Of like, here's an area that's kind of like jolting back and forth, and you just kind of have to dodge through it. Like the bridge was a cool set piece.
Like basically, there's only a handful of things where it's like rewind a little bit,
yeah, and
then you either like just jumped on a thing, or he ran across it fast before it went again. Yeah. And those were the only spots.
Yeah. I think it was just kind of like just traversing to get from one space to another, more or less.
There's no run button in this game. Could have used a run button. Did you guys love the camera? Because I think the camera also was kind of just like... I'm just naming a bunch of things that I'm just like... None of the stuff is great.
Film grain, I turned it off.
Yep.
Hated it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the film.
I had to really play with the camera to get it to a point where I liked it.
The camera was mostly fine for me.
I didn't find that as much of a hindrance either in mine.
Interesting. Maybe that's an Xbox problem.
Yeah. Or a me problem.
Yeah.
And then some of the set design in the TV show is also quite bad.
It's funny. So
costumes were bad.
So it's funny. I was watching it because I was like, I'm like playing it in my living room, and my wife walks by and she's just like, okay, I know you're playing a video game, but those look like real people. I'm like, and she's like, I know that those are like actors, real people playing on a thing, but why does it look like a video game? And I was like, she like nailed it for me. And like in the way that it's filmed and the way the characters are dressed, like they very much tried to make it look as close to the game as humanly possible. Like their outfits are very like video game looking. Their hairstyles are very...
They spent about $17 on each of the soldiers' costumes.
They look like video game characters. Like they very much do.
Sure.
And the set design and everything looks like it came... It's just
came from the dollar store, yes.
But it looks like exactly...
They robbed a Spirit Halloween the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, it does look exactly like a video game.
I swear some of those soldiers were wearing hockey pads.
It looks like a TV show. It looks like a network TV show kind of vibe. Like from that time period. Like from that era.
2016 wasn't that long ago.
It was
10 years ago.
You know what it reminded me a lot of, and I think you're a fan of the show, like Veronica Mars level production budget.
I never watched Veronica Mars, but I think I would love it.
I think you would love it. Add it to the list, you would love it. But infamously, their first season's production budgets were just low.
I agree. Like, it feels like... I'm trying to think of, like, sci-fi-esque shows from that era.
The 100.
The 100. I always called it the 100, but yes.
Yeah.
That almost felt better.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just barely, yeah.
Just barely.
Yep.
Because you could dirty it up because it's a little, like, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yes, but like that CW.
Yes, it had CW level
vibes.
Yep, 100%. Yeah.
The show had CW vibes, and the UI had Xbox vibes. And I don't know why I feel like the UI was an Xbox game. Like I looked at the UI in the menus, and I was like, "This is an Xbox game. This looks like an Xbox game." And I don't know why I feel that way, but that's just how I felt.
It probably like an Unreal Engine 4 game, if I had to guess. Maybe Unreal 3. What era were we? It's an Unreal game. No. It uses Northlight. It uses their proprietary engine.
Proprietary,
yeah.
We actually had this conversation.
We
when
did
playing the
because
game.
it was like they very much look the same.
They have the same effect. They really like their like lighting and special
their
effects.
Lighting,
like
it's
like
it's the
Control
kind of
and Remedy. They're like they love those games. they love it, and I think those same special effects are what causes a lot of the issues. Like you were saying on the Steam Deck, when you turn down all the settings.
Yeah.
If you have a flash of light that's supposed to be transparent and it's opaque.
Yeah.
You can't see through it.
I can't see through it. And so it's just really hard to see.
I need to ask you guys one of my famous questions. Quantum Break Open Critic. What do y'all think?
This feels like a mid-70s. It's got to be like 75.
Oh, I'm going to go with like a 81.
It is a 78.
Oh! Smack dab in the middle almost.
Oh, yeah.
Let me read a couple quick reviews for us. Andy Kelly, PC Gamer, gave it a 70 out of 100 and said an average shooter tied to a compelling, confident story, but the TV show is ultimately an expensive, if entertaining, gimmick. Tristan Ogilvy gave it an 8 out of 10 on IGN and said Quantum Break is a stylish, often exhilarating third-person shooter wrapped up in a tautly paced tale of time travel. That is a mouthful. And then Peter Brown from GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10 and said Quantum Break looks slick, but bouts of ineffective gameplay and mixed media construction make this a hit-and-miss experience.
Yeah.
The mixed media hits hard, you know.
Uh-huh.
Is it a game? Is it a TV show? Is it a book? I'm not really
Do you
sure.
remember when they kept using the expression transmedia?
Yes.
It is a transmedia
We've
property.
literally brought it back to Schrodinger. Is it a book? Is it a TV? We won't know
until
you turn it on.
Until you turn it on and
open the Xbox and
you
see
won't
what it is.
know what
you won't
it
know
is.
until you play it.
My friends, we're approaching an hour 45 here, so I'd love to know final thoughts about Quantum Break before we shove Schrodinger back in the box. Schrodinger's cat back in its box.
Schrodinger into the box.
Yeah, put Schrodinger in there too.
I would say if you liked Alan Wake and you like Control, it is very much a middle ground between those games in terms of it's not as actiony as Control, not as plot. In terms of technology, it's also very much in the middle. It's very much a middle stepping stone towards modern games from Remedy.
You haven't said if it's good, if you should play it yet.
It's a
hard game to recommend.
It is. It's a hard game to recommend. I didn't love it. I'd say I liked it. Even though I said I would get an 81, I would probably personally give it closer to like a 70 type of thing. It was pretty good.
The story punches like above a 6 out of 10 weight, but I think like there is just so. I went through a laundry list of stuff that, and we didn't even talk really about like the advertising that we talked a little bit about it, but like even the egregious product placement stuff. I can't recommend this game. It's tough to recommend in 2016. Come back to me after Control Resonant comes out, and then I say, okay, now we've got Alan Wake 2, we've got Control Resonant. Maybe for the biggest fans, it's worth it to go back. But I just don't. I can't recommend this game. It is not worth your time. It does not respect your time. 2 hours of it is walking through levels, reading emails,
or you just don't.
And then you lose, and then you come in like I did, where you go like, "What happened in this game? I don't understand."
Yeah,
Jack Joyce.
That's the thing. There's a lot of.
Did you understand without reading any of the narratives, or very few of them?
I feel like I got about 70% of it.
Do you understand what the lifeboat protocol is?
I think so.
How it works,
yeah,
and like why it was like a thing.
CFR was the core of the time machine. It's full of chronon particles. It was going to power the lifeboat, which was going to let scientists try and deliver or come up with a solution to the end of time.
Did you understand? There was like a whole memo explaining like why it's needed to extend the time, because normally it was supposed to be only last for 2 weeks with its current efficiency, but the CFR brought down the basically the burn rate on the chronon protocols by like 99%. So it extended the time up to multiple years from like 2 weeks on. It's only like 2 weeks.
I fell asleep. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, exactly. As most of the narratives seem to do in that game.
I'm clearly a dumb when I think about like the three of us.
Oh my god!
And I'm just like 60% of it. I got 69% of it, and I don't know what happened. And it was not nice.
That's the thing. I think I'm more forgiving because there's a lot of little moments in this game, aspects of this game that I really like. I think it's not a game that I wouldn't recommend someone play this. If you want to play something like this, play Control. Like if you want to play something action-wise that's got better writing, better everything, play Control.
Somebody
instead.
played Control, would you then recommend this?
Yeah, because because I think it kind of is a fun. I view it as a fun look at how did we get to Control? How did we get to Alan Wake 2? And it's a fun little like nostalgia trip almost of like, oh, it's almost like playing Control, but not quite. Oh, it's got all these little beats in it here, like that reference Alan Wake 2, but not quite. Like it's it's close.
It's more of an interest piece.
Yes.
Like you're not going to miss anything by not playing it. It's just there almost as like if you have the time and you're curious how we got here.
Exactly.
Go ahead. But it's not required.
No, exactly.
Like most of the narratives in the game.
However, I will say at the very end, it does do a lot of setup for a sequel. It does this very strange thing after the credits where you get this...
Oh, I forgot about this.
Right.
So,
where you get
set up for a sequel.
Where it sets up this idea of like Jack is almost in a Paul Serene kind of...
What if you took over Monarch?
Right. And also then you get a junction at the very end of like... You just get to decide what's going on, and it's very out of left field, and Jack feels a little off. Like, he feels a little evil. And Martin's there, even though he died. But it also leads with the idea of, like, a potential sequel being Jack wants to go back to get Beth. Like, and that would be the draw for me. Like, if the idea was...
I think if a new game came out,
I would play it.
I would play it because I think they'd fix a lot of the mechanics.
Exactly.
Having seen where they've gone, I think they'd fix a lot of the things that we are critiquing it on.
100%. Like, I think if a sequel to this game came out where it was Jack trying to go back and I'll come back for you, like go back and get Beth, like, I would play the crap out of that. Because I think they would have fixed, because they worked out all the kinks in this game and then perfected it with Control. But also, they're just going completely left field with Control Resonant. Like, it's a completely different game. That's not even the same kind of game. Like, there's a lot more synergies between Quantum Break and Control. Whereas, like, if I look at Control Resonant, that's like a melee like a melee.
They've arguably not made a game like that.
Right. It's a very different vibes game. And even Alan Wake 2 is very different. Like, all of their games are different in vibe, but I would say, like, gameplay-wise, this game is the most like Control than anything else that they've done. And so, Control Resonant is... The sequel to Control is more different than the original Control. So... I don't know where they would go with like a sequel to this, but I would love for them to get the opportunity to do so because I think they could actually really like hit something here with it. Give me more Beth.
Maybe she's in FBC Firebreak and you just don't know it.
Because I didn't play that one.
I don't think anybody did. Anyway, that, my friends, was our episode about Quantum Break. If you enjoyed it, you can do us a couple of favors. Please feel free to follow us on social media at leftbehindgameclub.bsky.social. That's where we're updating about new episodes coming out. You can also join the Discord. That's where we're going to be, leftbehindgame.club/Discord. You can yell about the plot of Quantum Break if that is what you like to do. There's also a bunch of cool folks in there that want to talk about the latest video game news, video game deals, and etc. If you've made it this far and you haven't given us a review on your podcasting platform of choice, what are you doing? Please do it for Jack Joyce. 5 stars. If it's 4, throw it in the box with the cat because it's neither here nor there, I guess. Where can y'all be found on the internet? Travis, mostly in the Discord, I'm assuming?
Mostly in the Discord. I am on Blue Sky. TravisColnett.bsky.social. I'm on there sometimes. Occasionally. But that's it. Mostly in the Discord.
Yeah.
Come find me in there.
Alex, you're in there too, yeah?
Yep, I'm also in there. And in another reality, I'm on social media, but not this one.
There it is. And
Schrodinger's Twitter.
That's just Twitter now.
Yeah.
I'm on bsky at jacob.bsky.social. That's where I'm posting most things. And I also do another podcast called Crossplay Conversations. We're talking about indie games. Very different than this show. But if indie games are your thing, you may want to check that one out too. Any other business before we shut it down?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, with that, shout out
stopped.
Mike Ruffalo. Time has stopped. And that, my friends, is one less game left behind. Everything you say to me.
Oh, God.
And I'm about to break.
I don't know how to do this.
Break.
Do you find yourself playing older games and wishing that there were new discussions about those games? Enter Tales from the Backlog, Hi, I'm Dave Jackson, and on each episode, I'm joined by a guest to break down those games that may be stuck in your ever-expanding backlog. Each episode looks at one game in depth, focusing on mechanics, story, music, and other aspects with no spoilers until a clearly marked spoiler wall in the middle. If you've played the game, go ahead and climb that spoiler wall and enjoy in-depth story discussions, and if not, jump out when we warn you and maybe go play that game for yourself. We have over 100 episodes in the feed, everything from Disco Elysium to Tunic to discussion episodes about how to get into horror games, and if games actually need to be fun, or if they have more to offer. I guarantee that there's something in there for everybody. Once again, that's Tales from the Backlog, available wherever your podcasts are found.
Video games are a unique medium.
They can tell stories,
immerse us in strange, fantastic worlds,
blur the very boundaries of our reality.
But at the end of the day, video games are fun, whatever fun is to you.
I'm Jeff Moonen.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon.
And on Fun and Games, we talk about the history, trends, and community of video games.
It's a celebration of all the games we play and all the fun we find within them.
And there's so many more games out there. So we hope you'll share in that conversation with us.
Fun and Games podcast with Matt and Jeff. Find us on certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
And happy gaming.